What are you talking about?
Talking about the messages.
Look, niggas.
Evil.
Hey, y'all pick that nigga in the corner.
I had a bad feeling about her leaving me, especially like around like almost 11 o'clock at night and going with somebody.
You did this whole time?
Examiner finds that the girl, known only as Krug Park Jane, had her throat slashed twice, and that she was also stabbed twice in the torso with a single-edged knife, one of which damaged her liver and caused her to bleed out internally, ultimately ending her life. Notably, there's also evidence that she was strangled prior to her death. Back at Central High School, investigators get their first real break in the case after showing crime scene photos of the girl's face to the assistant principal and the school resource officer. They recall a girl who attended the school as a sophomore last year. When they pull up the girl's picture in the system, police finally have a positive ID. The dead girl in the woods is no longer Krug Park Jane. She is 17-year-old Caitlin Root. While police don't immediately release her name to the media, it isn't long before the town of St. Joseph lights up with information about the killing, and a whole host of peculiar suspects come out of the woodwork. Detectives realize right away that it won't be easy to find the killer, but they have no idea what strange demonic twists await them. To get started, police turn to Facebook, which will become an unusually valuable source of information in this case. Starting with Caitlin's page, they're able to track down the people she's been staying with, none of whom are her actual family members. As it turned out, Caitlin lived with her friend Crystal and Crystal's grandmother Sheila. Police speak to them at the house and also with the woman next door, Sheila's daughter Tabitha. And it is in talking to her that police stumble across their first good lead, a young man named Kevin who Caitlin accused of hitting her just a couple of days prior. While the source of this allegation would be revealed later, for now, police once again turn to Facebook, where Kevin and his friends have been making some very aggressive posts to reject this accusation. It started when Kevin posted 2 days before, on Saturday, tagging Caitlin and insisting that he never laid a hand on her, saying, "I don't hit women." This sparks social media chaos that spills into Sunday, with Kevin and his supporters assailing Caitlin's character and reputation, even as Tabitha informs them in real time on Monday that Caitlin is dead and the police are at her house. Kevin responds, telling Tabitha at one point, "Take me to court because the truth will come out." Detectives are stunned by the bizarre drama surrounding their murder victim. Suspicion only grows when they later speak to a girl who claims to have seen a car associated with Kevin at Krug Park at 10:30 p.m. on the night of the murder. With Kevin looking more like a viable suspect, police bring him in for questioning. They notice quickly that he's collected some minor injuries in recent days.
So you got a little scratch there. You remember what that's from? It's to do, sitting on my buddy Derek's trailer. And he has a metal bar. Went to lift my arm up and I caught the edge of it. Got me. Okay, cool. And you slide your boots off on me. Oh, shoot. This is kickstarting dirt bike. Yeah. Saying that I was a woman beater or whatever. If I was going to beat a woman, then I needed to go beat on him or whatever. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I hung up on him and then I called Caitlin. I was like, what the hell's going on? She's like, you know what you did. You gave me 2 bloody noses or whatever. And she hung up on me. Haven't talked to her since.
Kevin tells the detectives that Caitlin's ex-boyfriends have reached out to him since his Facebook post, saying she's been known to play these games in the past.
He's speaking out. You know what I'm saying? He was raging out. You feel me? But you go from one day to chilling with somebody, then the next, they're accusing you of giving you 2 bloody eyes or whatever. Like, what? Nah,
If, you know what I'm saying? How many Facebook accounts do you have? 1, Panda.
Detective Ogdell uses the opportunity to look Amanda up on Facebook, but he scrolls for a long time before realizing that many people use the screen name Amanda Panda on the site. Interestingly, though, he only mentions one out loud.
Amanda Panda Dowell?
No.
The detective keeps scrolling without a second thought, having no way of knowing that the individual behind that particular Facebook account will soon become one of the most important pieces of this twisted puzzle.
I just feel like there's something you're just not quite telling me.
When it comes to these kind of murder, bro, y'all do realize, bro, when it comes a lot of the time to this murder thing, like with this murder case, the first suspect they talk to is normally the one that did it. Y'all notice that, right? For this case, it actually seems like it's not that first dude, which is crazy. But a lot of the time, it's probably the first suspect, or that the evidence is just right in your face. For example, the last case that we just watched, the boyfriend was the first one they investigated. It was him, off rip. He held that secret off from when he was 14 all the way till he was 17. It was going on 3 years since her murder. 3 years since her murder. And it's all the reason why it took so long is because this random bitch came out of nowhere, and she got another nigga arrested for kidnapping. Crazy. But this one, I don't know, Amanda Panda, and they saying that one is gonna be it's gonna be evident to like the case. What? We gonna see.
There's no, I mean, I promise you I'm not keeping anything from you.
I'll be honest, we talked with somebody said that you were with her Saturday night.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
As the detectives keep pressing Amanda, her irritation grows, and she urges them to run her story by her house manager.
You can actually, I wish you'd call Tina right now, please, if you would. Because she can verify this right now, right here, right now. 10 o'clock that night, I was up in my room. Loud music and all.
The detectives ask her to speak once more about the last time she saw Caitlin, but Amanda's patience is wearing thin.
I have not seen Caitlin since, well, it was a hey thing. Hi, see you later. I asked her to ask Crystal to come here because I asked Crystal's there because Crystal is the one that lives there. Her grandmother, I asked her with her grandmother. I asked Crystal if there's anybody in there that would give me a ride, for me and my boyfriend, a ride for $5. We gave them the $5 when they walked out, and we got in the van. Does it make sense? I try to repeat myself.
I understand.
No, I want to know the whole story. That's what I want to know. That's exactly what I want to know because I'm telling you guys what I did Saturday night at 10 o'clock p.m.
Well, I'm telling you that people are telling me you're the last person that...
Well, that's hilarious. Call Tina, please. 816-7.
We're working on that.
When? Because I want to hear her tell y'all.
The detectives speak with Tina, Amanda's house manager, and she confirms that Amanda was home that night. It's another dead end in the investigation, but not the end of the road. On the 20th, 5 days after the murder, a team of investigators go back to Krug Park and organize a grid search, expanding on their earlier perimeter. It's a partial success. They find the main section of Caitlin's cell phone, but it's badly damaged. Forensic detectives working the case buy a similar phone to the one found in Krug Park. They swap out the SIM card between the two phones and boot it up. Almost immediately, they find a clue that will crack the case wide open. It comes in the form of the last picture taken on the phone. It's time-stamped to the night of the murder, but there are no people visible in the picture. Instead, it seems to be the front of a convenience store. Detectives go in search of a store like the one in the picture, while analysts use Celebrite to begin extracting data from the phone. Neither set of detectives knows that what they are about to uncover would send the investigation into a valley of demons and darkness. Police find the convenience store shown in Caitlin's last photograph roughly 4 miles from her house. Surveillance footage from the night of the murder shows that around the timestamp marked on the photograph, a young man in a green Hyundai Santa Fe arrives at the store. He goes in, buys a couple of snacks, and returns to the car. They don't have a license plate, they don't see the driver of the vehicle, and they don't see Caitlin. For now, however, this is the best lead they have. But that's about to change. With the extraction of Caitlin's phone complete, police are able to look deeply into her digital life. They find what they're looking for right away. At 9:30 on the night of the murder, Caitlin got a message from a girl calling herself Amanda Panda on Facebook Messenger.
Amanda Panda Dowell?
No.
However, this is a different person and not the Amanda they spoke to on Monday. In the messages, she asks Caitlin to come hang out and smoke with her and her boyfriend. Furthermore, she gives Caitlin an instruction that sends a chill down the spines of the investigators. You don't tell anyone it's me, and you get free weed. The last message is from Caitlin, telling Amanda that she's walking down the street to meet her. It's the final message she will ever send.
Any motherfucker trying to link up with me after, like, nah. Nigga, I ain't going out with your ass, nigga. But that's the thing, though. I move like an introvert, but in reality, like, I'm very extroverted when I'm talking to a lot of people, or people just in general. But the way I move, I'm a homebody. Why would I get out the comfort of my bed and me being asleep to go hang out with your nut at? But, you know,
Looking through Amanda
people
Panda's
perceive life
Facebook
and do life
page, they
differently.
quickly identify her. She's 17-year-old Amanda Bennett, currently in a relationship with Sebastian Dowell, an 18-year-old
y'all
high
two
school
niggas
dropout who works at McDonald's.
murdered
It only
this
takes a
girl.
quick glance at Sebastian's online profile to
Ooh, he
identify
looks
him
zesty.
as the one in the convenience store footage. And when investigators take a drive past the pair's house on
said-
King Hill
Yeah,
Avenue,
that's what he said.
only a short distance from the store, they see something that provides even more confirmation. There in the alley behind the house is a green Hyundai Santa Fe, identical to the one in the video. On Saturday the 22nd,
Oh my
exactly
God.
1 week after Caitlin Root's murder, police make their move. Detectives and officers descend on the couple at a local parade, cuff them, and embark on what they hope will be the final stage of this winding investigation. They take Amanda Bennett almost immediately into an interrogation room at the law enforcement center. But if they expect to question a terrified teenage girl ready to spill her guts about
That's
what
how she
happened
looks.
last Saturday night, they instead
you
find themselves across from a calm, almost
misunderstood.
jovial young woman. It's just the first of many surprises in store for the detectives.
You're 17?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was
Today.
Today.
Happy birthday.
Any idea why you're here?
You murdered somebody at 16 years
I'll
old.
be honest, I find it hard to believe you don't know why you're here. We have a lot of information. We have a lot of evidence. We have recovered a lot of things. And I know you know why you're here.
When do I ask for a lawyer?
You can ask for a lawyer anytime you want, if that's what you want to do.
Well,
That's-
you guys think I did something, so I
Well, what do
I
you
need
think
a
we
lawyer.
think you did?
I don't know.
What you think, Lil?
Then I would think you would want to find out what you think we did, you know?
Well, I thought you were supposed to tell me what you think I did.
Well, here's the thing.
Obviously something bad, because I was in handcuffs.
Well, honey, everybody that comes here gets in handcuffs. I mean, everybody, we don't have a choice in that matter. It's policy. Everybody has to come in handcuffs. Did we think you were a big threat to us? No. But it's just policy. It's what we have to do. But I mean, obviously, there's an issue here. You've been arrested. You know, you're sitting in a room with two detectives. It's obviously serious.
Yeah.
The detectives ask Amanda about her movements on Friday the 14th, one day before the murder, and she launches into a detailed story about what she and Sebastian did that night. It started, she tells them, when they went to the late movie, leaving their 2-month-old baby Siler in the care of Amanda's mother.
But we watched The Girl in the Train. We were going to go see that.
Is that good?
No. Most scary movies nowadays aren't good. But we were late to that movie because that one started at like 10:15, I think. So we missed the previews, though, a little bit at the beginning of the movie.
So you stayed for the whole movie.
Hmm.
And what'd you do after that?
And then we went to Sebastian's dad's house.
So you stayed there till what time you think? I mean, the movie probably didn't get out till midnight or something, did it?
Yeah, it took a while, and then we were talking for a while, and then my mom was like, "Where are you at?" At about 3, I think. She was like, "Where are you guys at?" And I was like, "At the movies." But then she was like, the movies doesn't last like 5 hours. So I was like, okay, we're at Jeremy's house.
After your mom called you around 3, did you guys head home then, or?
Having gotten a detailed account of Amanda's itinerary from last Friday night, the detectives now focus on the next night, the one that really matters.
What about Saturday?
Yeah, what time did you guys get up Saturday?
I got my days mixed up. All of this that I just told you happened on
Okay. Sure.
Saturday.
All that happened on Saturday?
Yes, because we got up for church the next day.
Oh, okay.
So that was Saturday.
Was this an innocent mix-up of memories, or did Amanda almost waste a prepared alibi on the wrong night?
Hey.
Either way, with her correction, she's locked in her story of what she and Sebastian were doing on the
What's
night
up,
of Caitlin's
Tweet?
murder. The only problem, her fiancé Sebastian seems to know nothing about these activities.
What do you think about being arrested? Is that kind of freaky or?
Really?
No? Why not?
Tend to keep calm, and whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I know I didn't do anything,
Right.
so I'll eventually find out what's
You know,
going on.
what do you think this is about?
I have no idea, honestly.
I mean, I didn't. And obviously, we have been, you've been here for a while.
Yeah.
And I was back with another detective talking to Amanda. And she gives some different explanations of some time in this same time period. Particularly about Saturday and Sunday. Do you remember anything else you guys did Saturday or Sunday?
Nothing. Oh, not do you recall?
With Sebastian having failed to remember Amanda's version of the night, the detectives give him a little nudge in the right direction.
Did you maybe go to a movie or something Saturday? That'd be pretty easy to remember if you did that.
That would be easy to remember.
It's a horror movie. A girl on the train.
Did you see the girl on the train? That's not what she mentioned.
I don't recall seeing it now, but I know that was.
I mean, you'd remember if you went to the
Why not?
movies. You don't ever get to go do anything. Hell, you would remember if you went to the movies, right?
No, but I don't recall seeing the movie.
With that conflict between the couple's stories dealing a blow to their credibility, the detectives ask about the other half of Amanda's alibi.
And you didn't go see your dad Saturday either, then?
I'm supposed to, but something about my stepmother trying to take my three little sisters, and she's not exactly the most stable person.
So did you go or did you not go?
I don't remember. I don't think he answered the phone when we were supposed to go there.
So why would she say you went and saw this movie and went and saw your mom and dad?
It's my bad phone.
At this point, even
And
Almost
processes
there.
the
One
gulf
of them
between
like my
his
old
recollection of Saturday night and his girlfriend's account. The
That sound
detective
weird, don't it?
notices something striking.
So what happened to your arm here? You got some spots on your arm.
Bit of a cat. There's a kid. He likes to play.
This looks like it's shaved or something.
Oh, yeah. When I sharpened my knives, I don't really know exactly how well I sharpen. So I just,
So you're a knife guy.
I like knives. I collect them.
See? How many you got?
Quite a few.
About this, at least, Sebastian is being honest. In their search of the couple's home, police find a slew of knives in various shapes and sizes. The question is whether any of them are stained with the blood of Caitlin Root. Sensing perhaps that there is a dynamic between Amanda and Sebastian that could help them get closer to the truth, the detectives ask him about their roles in the relationship.
So who's the domineering one in the house?
Probably her.
There's nothing wrong with admitting that.
It's the same way.
Yeah, we're the same way. So she doesn't smoke any weed at all, or
She does once in a while, but
does she like it? Do you smoke weed?
I only do it if she says I can.
Right. You already knew that, though. I'm not telling you anything you didn't know.
Amanda and Sebastian may have different stories about what happened last Saturday night, but when it comes to the question of who holds the power in the household, they are in lockstep.
Does he stay anywhere else now, even occasionally? Every night at you? Got a thumb on that, right? Make sure he's where he's supposed to be.
Yep.
Do you
He's pretty. You gotta keep a lock on that.
You guys don't run around with anybody. You don't hang out with anybody. It's
No.
just you two.
We're always home.
Love, exciting, and
No, we just don't. We don't have any.
Sebastian didn't have any friends?
Well, he did, but they were all female, so.
Oh, enough of that.
That's 'cause he's
That ain't
pretty.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's because he's pretty. And
That ain't gonna happen.
Amanda
See,
says
I
one
started out as a friend also, so.
Oh, so you know how it
you know
works,
how
right?
that works, don't you?
When the detectives ask Sebastian about how she views outside threats to their relationship, he agrees that Amanda runs a tight ship.
She a jealous woman?
She does get that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, majorly.
Majorly? Tell me about that.
She freaks out about the slightest thing when it comes to any other female.
The detectives reasonably believe that Amanda's unstable jealousy could unlock the why behind this cruel murder. But they will soon learn that far more depraved motives lie at the heart of this tragedy.
She gets a little violent, but well, just really probably just have jealousy.
You say violent. What did she do to be violent?
Well, she'll slap me if she thinks I did something wrong or do probably wrong.
Well, I said that like a good boy. I see back in that nigga.
Call and she'll yell and threaten me that she'll leave and stuff like that.
She ever beat up a girl because she thought a girl was after you?
She threatened her.
Yeah. Who was that?
She just threatens that in general.
So what's the most violent thing she's ever done over jealousy?
It's probably during her mental breakdown that she had last. She thrashed my ribs and started kicking and screaming, and at that point, I think she tried to stab me at one point.
How long was
Damn,
that?
About a month ago. It got her
look.
a lot higher dosage.
Look, gang. Look, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, bro. You need to go back to school, get your GED, or if you still can, get your diploma. At this point in time, get your diploma. See the kind of windows that thing open up, and flee town on her, cause you tweaking, staying with this bitch. She beat her, threatened to stab you. She threatened people in general, which is crazy. Is she kicking you and break your ribs? Nigga, hit the gym. Nigga, you... But you better start hitting them. Start hitting them. I don't know what you on, boy. What the heck?
Where she's not gonna be as more psychotic.
That's pretty nuts. I mean, sleep like that. You think you said psychotic. I mean, she's not really psychotic.
Without her medications, she's off the wall.
Jokes about jealous rage aren't all Amanda has been posting on her Facebook. She has also posted some disturbing memes on her feed. One of them says, "It's only murder if they find your body. Otherwise, you're just a missing person."
Damn.
The information about Amanda's violent nature is intriguing, but right now the detectives are more interested in the story Amanda has told them about Saturday night, especially about going to see the girl on the train.
How'd the movie end?
Weird.
Just weird.
It was like kind of a plot twist. It was all like a mystery about like a murder.
Mm-hmm. Who did the murder?
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
You weren't paying attention.
It was a boring movie.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's extremely weird to me that you go to a movie and you have no idea what happened in that movie.
Let me tell you something. Whoa. What movie this happened? I went to go with my ex at this point in time. She's my girlfriend at this point in time. We went to go see, I think The Little Mermaid or something. It wasn't the most intriguing movie to us. You know what? We wanted to go see it. It was Despicable Me 4 as well. That one was... No. We was like, we could have just stayed at the house. But no, that was funny. It was fun. I had fun.
Why even go to the movie?
But even still, I remember
You
some of the
So you're
things.
not at the
For her
house?
to go to a movie and not even
I've
remember
got
one
a
scene.
guy going out to the theater to get the video from last Saturday night. Right now, he's on his way out there. The movie started at 10:10, and you were a little late, you said, right? So you got there after the previews. So I'll say around 10:30 probably. Would that be a safe guess?
I guess.
Okay. So they're definitely going to find you on that video, right?
But if Amanda sounds less than confident, perhaps there's a good reason. Investigators have already looked at the theater's surveillance footage, and there's no hint of Amanda or Sebastian in the video.
Mainly the thing that I have an issue with right now is Saturday at the movies. because we could find no evidence of you guys being at the movies. And we pretty well already knew that before we even got down that road. Why would you tell me that you were at the movies when you weren't at the movies?
We were at the movies.
At the late movie, which started at 10:10 of Girl on the Train.
Mm-hmm.
And nowhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Then why, I mean, are you guys like invisible or something? Or, I mean,
Why won't you be on the video?
you're not there.
I don't know.
I would suggest it's because you weren't there. And I would suggest you were somewhere else and you don't want to tell me about that.
We were at the movies.
Amanda clings to her story in the face of solid evidence, and her boyfriend does the same.
I do have you on video going through an intersection. I don't have her. I have the passenger side of the vehicle, and it's clearly you had stopped at an intersection. And so I assume she's driving. So you can't help me with where you might have been going or what you might have been doing. I didn't really do anything specific about that.
The detectives also confront Amanda with evidence that pokes fatal holes in her story.
Are you scared right now?
Mm-mm.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
I would be. You are in a jam right now.
Frank, they were never at the apartment that night.
Never at Jeremy's apartment that night. We know where you were at.
Mm-hmm.
And where was
We
it?
have your cell phone to back that up. We have messages from you to back that up.
We have the car.
Evidence.
We're
We
at
have
your
the
house.
car. We're at your house.
We've got Sebastian.
We've got Sebastian.
And how do you have Sebastian?
Just as the detectives reach the end of their rope with Amanda's crumbling alibi, they also reach a point with Sebastian where it's time to lay the cards on the table. Surprisingly, Sebastian helps them do so.
I mean, you're in here, you're in jail, you've been arrested, your girlfriend's been arrested, your kid's been given to your mother's quasi-mother-in-law. You're pretty calm. I mean, what do you think this is about?
I couldn't really tell you. I have an assumption.
Okay, what is that assumption?
I know something happened at Crow Park around that time.
How do you know that?
I've seen it all over the news and on my Facebook.
What happened there?
Apparently somebody got killed.
Who's somebody?
I don't know her name.
Though Sebastian attempts to make it sound as though he only knows of this murder through the media, it immediately becomes clear that he's a little closer to the situation than that.
You don't know?
I did meet her. She went to the hospital when my son was born. And
So she must tell you.
she knows me, but I didn't know her. I didn't even know her name.
But she shows up. I mean, I gotta be honest, I've had 2 kids. The only people who showed up at the hospital were friends.
It was Amanda knew her. I didn't.
So she showed up because of Amanda.
Yeah.
So her and Amanda were friends.
Yeah.
How's Amanda feel about this? About her friend being dead.
I don't know. She hasn't really shown a whole lot of emotion about it.
The detectives, who've already been told of Amanda's violent, possessive side, explore whether Sebastian's interactions with Caitlin may have triggered her jealousy.
Have you ever dated her before?
I didn't even know her name.
She ever flirt with you before?
Like at the hospital that day your baby was
Sitting
born?
at the hospital, she tried talking to me. She kept complimenting my appearance and kept saying that even though it looked like I haven't been slept in a while, a few days I still look good. Amanda seemed kind of pretty mad about that.
Well, that was in front of Amanda.
Yeah.
You know, this is not our first rodeo. We've had a team.
There's 7 homicides in St. Joe within the past year.
Yeah.
At least that you found a body for.
All right.
It's probably more, but
Is there? Well, who said anything about a homicide?
Google.
But I mean, we didn't say anything about a homicide. Who says this is a homicide we're talking about? Is there something we need to know about a homicide?
Well, you're investigating the homicide.
We're investigating hundreds of crimes.
Mm-hmm.
You're investigating homicide.
We're investigating hundreds of crimes.
Well, that's the only one in the news, so I'm assuming.
With the suspects already aware of why they're likely here, the cops let the cat out of the bag.
I do have a few questions, but
I think you know the answers to the question, but go ahead and ask them. I'll help you out.
it was just, when I was arrested at the parade. Why, that was even really necessary for so many, officers to come back.
Well, I think you have to look at the thought of this. If that's what you think we're talking about the officers thought that you possibly killed somebody. That's pretty serious. My book, all right?
I understand that. So,
I would say you're right on track, honestly.
But if the detectives are laying aside their pretenses with Sebastian, they're going even more forcefully to the evidence with Amanda, particularly the evidence that connects her to Caitlin.
Friends with her on Facebook, your messenger.
After that night, don't tell anybody.
Yep, where you going?
Don't tell anybody where you're going, who you're going with.
We can just do it over at my house. We do it in LA all the time.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the messages.
Bro, look at the detective, bro. Look, that nigga. Bro, look.
I'm talking about the messages that you sent her, Caitlin.
Yeah, bro.
Let's quit calling her. She deserves a name. Regardless of what she was or what she did. Her name is Caitlin Root.
You know Caitlin.
And you sent her messages to come and be with you guys and not to tell anybody who she was going with.
She was such a good friend. She came to the hospital the day that your son was born.
And she talked about how it wasn't my baby.
What do you mean?
Like it wasn't Sebastian's baby.
So it was your baby, but not Sebastian's baby.
So it pissed her. So she's out there saying, "Hey."
She's saying you're.
Yeah, she's calling you. Yeah.
What else is it? If she says it's not Sebastian's baby.
Yeah.
She's telling you that you run around, which is really what she does, isn't it?
That doesn't bother me.
Let her. So what you telling me is that she called you a fat, stinking slut, right? That's what they call you. Come on, bro.
However,
Them niggas
she
trying to get a
remains
reaction so
seemingly
bad.
indifferent. Sebastian, however, tells them that she had a much different response at the time.
She couldn't wait for her to leave, and that she was just gonna keep her cool about it. She didn't have to fight somebody after she had a baby.
Back with Amanda, the detectives are learning a lot about their teenage suspect, and none of it is good.
You don't physically scare me, but it's just spooky that you just have no emotion about it. No emotion. I've been doing this for 31 years. I have never, ever sat across from someone and talked to them about a crime like this, even if they're not involved, and had them sit here with this much lack of emotion. And not to mention the fact that I'm telling you, you did it, and you have no emotion except for giggling once in a while. That is spooky.
As these interviews proceed, crime scene analysts are collecting evidence at the couple's home. They come across several bizarre items that hint at the chilling truth of what happened to Caitlin. It's these items that detectives have in mind as they question Sebastian about Amanda's religious beliefs.
She's kind of looked into some.
It seemed like they not even like really thinking that it's him on some shit. They really thinking that it's her. She get pressed, nigga. She getting pressed. Your shorty over there getting pressed, nigga. Now what you gonna do about it, boy? Hey, if I was you, you got me. I ain't got nothing to do with that, twin. You got me. Hey, she going down. I'm gonna do it, boy.
Some other stuff too, some darker stuff.
I think 41 minutes left in this video.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Almost 40.
I don't mind it as long as she doesn't go, like, too far with it.
Right. What would be too far? What would be too far?
really depending on what the exact.
Like all gothing out.
Yeah. It can affect your
Excuse me.
actions or appearance or like that. I mean, like, influencing her to do anything.
Do you
Our
believe
universe it could
do you
be
believe
as
in
small as
Satan?
a speck on
Do you
a
believe in
ballpoint
Satan? Do you worship
Do I?
Satan?
pen.
Huh? You
Okay, I can get it after that.
he said he'd be right back. I texted him and he said he'd be right back. He said she'd
Do you have deodorant?
Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. This is what? This is talking about deodorant, nigga. Fuck your deodorant, nigga. We talking about somebody that was murdered today or the other day, bro. That you did, bitch. And now we asking you if you worship. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. Crazy. It's a bunch of religions that.
No. So
It's gonna get smelly.
do you
up
have
in
any
here.
when you worship Satan, what do you do?
I didn't say I worship Satan.
I'm saying you probably do. I'm guessing you do.
And why do you think that?
I just do, but you might be because of the stuff that's in your background. But when
What
you
do you
say
mean it's in
when
my
I just ask you and you say I don't know, maybe I do. That's kind of a clue.
Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Maybe I believe in God. Maybe I don't. Maybe I believe that chair is the Messiah. And maybe I don't.
You see one thing consistent about our interview? That whenever I back you into a corner about something you're uncomfortable about or about the truth, that you find something else to talk about. You think you're smarter than anybody else. I think
No, I
that's
probably
what it
sound
is.
like
No, you sound like a person who is scrambling to do anything to avoid the truth.
Absolutely.
Detective Till's assessment isn't based solely on their latest exchange. Throughout the interview, Amanda has diverted the conversation into a number of blind alleys, many of them quite silly.
Well, I can't
Happy birthday.
guarantee anything at this point. So,
I mean, I could get a cupcake or something.
when you do smoke weed, where do you get it from? Do you get it from here, or who do you get your weed from?
He's a hamster.
He's a hamster. Okay.
They should let you have pets in jail. But then that'd be a bad idea, though, because then they would probably die.
And it's not long before Amanda tosses out her most outrageous suggestion yet.
There's only two people that were there, you and Sebastian. So you're telling me he did it all?
He didn't do anything.
Then who did then?
A bear?
You know what I'm beginning to think? What I'm beginning to think is you are a very cold, hard person.
Do I get to go to the back there?
In a minute. She had to go back into dispatch. Hey, I'm beginning to think you're a very cold, hard person. That you can sit here
She looked this
and have
nigga
no...
dead in the eyes and said, maybe a beer. Bro, I hate how in uncomfortable situations I start laughing or smiling, bro. I hate that. Holy. I'm gonna tell niggas I got the Shinra, bro.
no emotion and make funnies about all this stuff to say maybe she was killed by a bear.
Well, I don't know what she was
Oh, you know
killed by.
exactly what she was killed by.
This statement, the interrogation takes a turn, and the detectives run out of patience.
Less than a week ago, you killed somebody. And you don't care. You probably...
Also, do you think you could do the kill? So the both of them... I thought you was different, twin. I thought you was getting pulled by your hairs or whatever. You were her little bitch or something.
I went home and had a great time. Oh, wasn't that fun? Wasn't that great? I can't wait to do it again. Maybe we should do it to Siler. Yeah. Maybe we should do it to Siler. What we did to her, maybe we should do that to Siler.
You're sick.
You're sick. I've never killed anyone.
Neither have I.
You're a liar. You're evil, evil, evil.
Hey, y'all pick that nigga in the corner. Oh, you hear? Bro, that nigga going off on her. Bro, look at my nigga, bro. He's like Dean Ambrose a little bit.
There have I.
You're a liar.
Look.
You're evil, evil, evil. Who like to kill and get off on it. You probably rubbed her blood all over your body and probably, I don't know, probably had some weird...
Danced in a circle.
Yeah.
Shouting.
You did?
Is that what you think?
Yeah, that's what I think. Because you don't... So what
Hey, keep
happened
in
then?
mind, these the kind of girls that y'all niggas infatuated with. But I don't want no bitch that kill somebody. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Do I want some cop shit? Maybe.
No, that didn't happen. I hope that didn't happen.
You danced around in her blood and probably went, yay me, look at me. Here's to you, Satan.
Fuck, bro. It's
Here's to
getting
you,
me, bro. It took
my first
I'm not
sacrifice.
tired.
Or is it my first sacrifice to you? You know what? This one doesn't work. How about a baby? Let's sacrifice our baby.
Baby souls are worthless.
This bitch is crazy. This is crazy.
So, a teenage soul's worth more than a baby soul? A horse? Somebody, a bad girl soul is worth more than a pure, innocent baby?
Bro, the way she said it, too, she said it fast, though. I don't know if y'all niggas noticed. She talking about something.
Baby souls are worthless.
And that's all she said. And that other detective didn't say nothing. He didn't even move his head. He just said, nigga, that was me. Bro, I can't just not, like, I can't not just hear something like that, bro. And then all of a sudden, it's just quietness. You feel me? Like, hell nah, bro.
On this day, however, Detective Ogdo has heard enough.
How we doing? She's a liar. Two things I know about this. I'll let you talk to her for a moment about what you're going to talk to her about. But two things I know for sure, Josh. Okay? You know, of course, her son's name is Siler, who she doesn't care about. Okay. Boyfriend's name is Sebastian. There's two things I know about her. She is a killer, and she's a liar.
Well, okay.
Listen, if you've been in a car accident, don't call an attorney.
The new detective may seem like a friendly alternative at first, but once he introduces himself as a computer forensics investigator, Amanda seems to understand that he's not come to deliver any good news.
And so let me tell you what happens with a cell phone and today's smartphones is that they automatically connect to Wi-Fi locations.
Yep.
And so what happens with a smartphone is that it stores that location that it tried to connect to. And so when I look at your phone and when I looked at Sebastian's phone and when I looked at Caitlin's phone, what do you think that those phones had in common?
Locations.
You're right.
The detective lets her know as plainly as possible that the phone data leaves no room for her to be innocent.
The question is not whether you did it. It's why. For what purpose? And that's a question, an answer that only you can provide. Was it sport? Was it fun? Was it just to do something? Or was it more than that? Was it this bond that you and Sebastian now share? What was it?
I have no answers for that.
You have a 2-month-old baby, bro. Like, y'all niggas could have been out in jail. Y'all niggas couldn't even have to be in jail. Y'all could have been chilling with y'all friends, smoking whatever. Because I know a lot of niggas like to smoke, drink, whatever, bro. That's not me, but you do what y'all do. Taking care of your child, living up beautiful memories, and now you probably staying behind bars for the rest of your life. Never ever gonna be able to see your child again. Your child gonna forget you for everything that you were, and you carried that baby for 9+ months, all so you could get this murder off, and you immediately got caught. Your baby is 2 months years old. I said 2 months years old. Your baby's 2 months old. He not gonna remember your ass or your face, bro. He's not going to remember you at all. He's not. Like, he's not going to remember you, bro. So now that's your fault and that's your problem, because now you missed out on beautiful opportunities on raising this beautiful baby, bro.
I need to talk to a lawyer.
It's probably a good idea. Good luck to you.
Sebastian also withers under scrutiny and asks for a lawyer. But while this seems to mark the end of their cooperation, these suspects have only just begun to reveal the depths of their madness. Almost as a preview, Sebastian ends the first interview with a single, highly suspicious remark.
We need to understand why this happened. What happened? What did this girl do? Did she come on to you? Did she assault Amanda? What happened that got to this point?
Not quite. The reasoning behind why it was her specifically. I didn't ask, but I'd like to see a lawyer, not for any reason for guilt, but I'd like to discuss something with a lawyer.
It's absolutely your right to do that.
With Amanda having also exercised her right to counsel, the detectives exit, leaving her alone in the interrogation room with a cop whose only job for the time being appears to be babysitting her.
I mean, I just don't want to say anything that's going to put me away for life. That's why I'm not saying anything.
I respect that.
The cop puts Amanda at ease, perhaps more at ease than she realizes, because their conversation will soon take a dark turn. That chilling part of their conversation is still to come, and its unbelievable revelations will shed an ominous new light on what happened to Caitlin Root. As for Sebastian, they don't leave him in the room. They take him straight out for processing, and it's as he's being fingerprinted that he asks Detective Till if he can speak with him alone back in the interrogation room. And as the hint at the end of his first interview suggests,
Not quite. The reasoning behind why it was her specifically.
this time, his story has changed.
I know what happened, but I kind of hard to explain. This makes me sound crazy.
Well, I understand that it happens, and I just want to hear your. What happened?
She knows this about me, that I'm not quite all there in the head a little bit. I am. Two different sides. I could I'm a sociopath. Starters, like, that's one reason I'm so calm. I have no emotion right now.
Sebastian begins the second interview with an intriguing bit of information about himself, one that almost seems designed specifically to limit his culpability in whatever happened that night.
At certain times, if I lose my temper or freak out, like, this state of my consciousness just kind of goes away from
By the way, this first degree murder.
consciousness comes up. Hit the name, and it's basically like the more violent, evil part of me.
What was that name?
Drake.
Drake? Does she know when Drake is talking to her? Or does she address him by the name Drake?
Sometimes.
Y'all be having the most kinkiest, freakiest of sex, nigga. Oh my god. I'm sorry. That's that shit.
Sometimes it's me because she's calling by my name. He doesn't care.
But she recognizes the two different people.
Yeah, it's very distinct.
He says that it's not him, but it's still part of him. Like, he says that it's a second person that lives in his head. And that second
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. Blood that's trying, I feel tension rising. I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
Do that.
no real emotions in that. Just evil.
I just wish I was able to make her, but this was not an outcome. I know she has no remorse. She has no guilt about it. She's more excited.
Yeah, I agree. She had no remorse whatsoever.
Boy,
People said it multiple times talking about it.
She's always been controlling. I have to ask if I can leave the house. I have to ask her anything if I want to do anything. I don't like being controlled like that, but I'd never do something like this for her. I'd stop her before she did. But the other half of me likes her a lot.
With the stage set for Sebastian to begin telling his story, Detective Till asks him how they came to be in Caitlin's company last Saturday night.
I don't have any actual recollection of what exactly happened, but it's kind of like a faded memory.
What do you remember about it?
I remember just being in the park, walking, all three of us. And out of nowhere, I heard loud something smacking, and she was on the ground. And then so she didn't have any clothes on. And then we were getting up, she was all bloody on the ground. I don't remember the details between those.
Sebastian's not the only one coming back for a second sit-down. On Monday morning, 2 days after her initial interview, Amanda sends word that she'd like to speak with detectives once again. This time, she not only brings a different story, but an entirely different persona.
I was at work with my mom at Pizza Hut, and I was just messaging people to see if anyone wanted to hang out, because I never do.
She was trying to message people to see who she could murder that night, bro. This shit crazy.
I messaged a girl named Haley Mooney, another girl named Haley, and a girl named Allie, and I messaged Caitlin. And
bro, look at what they're saying to each other, bro. I'm gaining trust with another person so that when I need another, I got one. Do y'all see what she doing, bro? What the fuck is this? Like, bro, she's literally saying, I literally called out her scheme before she even said it. Before I had knowledge of it. It's like, bro, what? She's basically just trying to pile one upon another. It makes me feel like this probably like their second or third murder together. Cause she's still pretty giggly about it. No, it could be her first. It might be her first. But they were planning to do another one, like immediately after. It's either that or they already on their third. Cause this shit just talking about homicides.
Like, hi, what are you guys doing? What's up? And Caitlin talked to me. She just like talked, said hi, how are you? And I was like, I'm at work, bored. And I was like, you have anything to do? And she's like, no, not really. I'm just sitting here. I was like, oh, you want to hang out or something? She said, yeah, that'd be cool.
Amanda insists that they only intended to hang out peacefully with Caitlin that evening, and she illustrates this with a story of what happened when they stopped at a convenience store near their house. It's during this story that she reveals something surprising about the picture police found on Caitlin's phone.
And then we were talking about the lights on the signs, like it was either the lottery sign or the open sign or something like that. So then I asked her if she had a phone on her, and she said she did. I asked if I could see it, and she handed it to me, and then I took a picture of the sign. I said, hey, when you have a memory. And then we started talking about how they were doing new stuff at Craig Park, and she said that she hadn't seen it yet. I told her that I didn't see it either, and then Sasha was like, well, do you want to go check it out? And she's like, yeah.
Amanda tells them that they spent quite a while at the park walking around before finally resting at the top of a hill. And this is where her story takes a turn.
Then Sebastian sat down next to me, and he said, you're probably not going to believe me because it sounds crazy, but I'll explain what he's talking about later. if you remind me, I'll tell you. But he said that they wanted her for a sacrifice. They wanted her specifically, and that she fit the criteria, and that they wanted her. I told him that we were having fun with her, and that she was becoming my friend, and
We're gonna rob this girl too. Nigga said, who? The one I don't like? And she said, yeah. Now stop messaging me so I could get this girl.
that I didn't want it, that I didn't want it to be her. Like she was leading to some.
Bitch, you would've won. Gang, this is crazy. On some real shit, this is crazy.
Sebastian pulled me aside and handed me a stick and said, hit her, you need to hit her. And I told him I didn't want to, and he said, hit her now. So I hit her with a stick. And she said, ow, what was that for? So I know I didn't hit her very hard.
Oh my god, a new season of One Piece. Oh my god.
Sebastian ran past me and knocked her to the ground. And started choking her.
How was he choking her?
She was laying right here. He had a hold of her like that and was choking her.
At that point, Amanda tells them the violence escalated, and Sebastian took drastic measures.
And then she was trying to say, help me, please stop, I can't breathe. And he said, can you help me? And I just stood there. I didn't know what to do. And then he took a syringe out of his pocket.
A what?
A syringe, like for shots and stuff. And he stabbed her in the neck with it.
But she's finally acknowledged at least being there during these moments of unrestrained brutality. Back with Sebastian, the detective asks him about the weapons they brought to the park.
What did that knife look like?
The knife.
That you would usually carry on your side?
Pretty sure the Winchester.
The Winchester? Like a kind of a rose-colored handle on it? Reddish wood?
Yeah, and a hole in the bottom.
My bad, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That was
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's on me.
had bones all over it.
Sebastian's account of that evening may be conveniently sparse, but his recollection of the knives resonates with what police found at their house. Blood is detected on both knives, and the DNA profile matches with Caitlin Root.
And then he handed me a knife and said, stab her. I told him that I couldn't, and he said, we have to do it now. Because we can't go back now, because if we do, then we're going to jail. So he took it back and he stabbed her in the chest.
Oh, he the one that
Did
stabbed.
both of you partake in stabbing her and cutting her, or just you, or just Amanda?
I was holding her.
Holding her down so Amanda could do what needed to be done? The injuries to her neck, how hard was that to inflict?
My knives are incredibly sharp.
Incredibly sharp.
While Sebastian continues to claim having trouble remembering what happened that night, his girlfriend is not.
He stabbed her like right here.
I'm digging in them. I ain't gonna lie.
I covered my eyes and when I turned around. I don't know what he did after that, but when I turned around, she was standing up. I knew he had stabbed her though, but she was standing up and starting to get up and walk away. And he looked surprised, so I don't think it was supposed to happen. And then he knocked her back down and jumped on top of her, on top of her with his legs, and he was choking her again. And he said loud enough that she was a fighter, so I don't think it was going how he wanted it to. He said that she was fighting. And then after a while, he said that she didn't have a pulse anymore.
Is it a possibility that you might have cut her or stabbed her and not remembered?
I guess there's a possibility.
It's not the only detail Amanda would like to forget about that evening.
And he was shining the light over her, and he told me to look at her. He said, look what we did to her. And I couldn't look at her. I didn't want to know what happened to her. He showed me her phone. And he said, we have to get rid of her phone because if the police find it, then they'll see that I was talking to her and they'll come and take me to jail for murder. So he took the SIM card out and he broke it in half and put it somewhere. And then he stopped on the phone and it wasn't breaking. So he like bent it until the light went out.
Sebastian didn't succeed in actually destroying Caitlin's SIM card, of course, and his take on Amanda's mood in the aftermath is quite different.
She's pretty giddy, excited. Normally when we go to bed, we just lay down and go to sleep. We don't have any interaction with each other. She wanted to come on me, lay on me, kiss me, hug me, all that stuff. She never does. Really?
According to Amanda, however, Sebastian was occupied with more sinister matters, having brought home a souvenir from the crime scene.
He reached in the purse and the first thing he pulled out was a bottle that was like this big and it had blood in it. And he was looking at it. And he held it up to the light. And he told me that it didn't look normal, that blood shouldn't look like that. And then he said that he was going to go downstairs and he was going to make more of the stuff that he put into her neck because he made it out of something. I don't know if he put it in. And I'm pretty sure you guys found it, but the vials that was like, had numbers on it, that was on the bedside table. That's what he made that night.
Police find a bottle matching that description at their home, though it's not clear from the report what, if anything, they found inside. In a later interview with the detectives, Sebastian talks about the contents in the bottle.
It was just stuff that I was just mixing together.
What is it exactly?
Alcohol, like the rubbing alcohol.
Uh-huh.
And that's pretty much all it was.
That's not the only disparity in their accounts, as both of them seem willing to throw the other under the bus. Sebastian tells detectives about something else that ties Amanda to the murder, and they soon confront her about it.
Purple rubber gloves that you wore up there when you guys killed Caitlin.
I didn't have gloves on.
They sent it off for DNA, and he told me that day that you had on rubber gloves to keep from getting bloody, and that you threw them in the kitchen trash.
I didn't have any gloves on.
While Amanda remains resistant to the notion that she had any direct participation in the murder, Sebastian's story, as usual, is a little different.
Amanda, she did stab her, but I don't think it wasn't successful. She said she couldn't do it. She tried, but she wouldn't be able to actually stab her. It wouldn't go through her skin.
In his previous interview with the detectives, Sebastian had informed them how Amanda's behavior in the following days was deeply concerning.
She wants to go to the candlelight or the funeral. I told her she probably shouldn't do that.
Did she go to the candlelight?
We both worked all the nights, every time for the funeral or candlelight.
Why did she say she wanted to go? Was that exciting to her too?
Yeah, she said she wanted to buy a T-shirt with Caitlin's name on it. So
Wanted to buy a T-shirt with Caitlin's name on it?
yeah, the T-shirts that they're selling were. Said she wanted to buy one of those.
While the detectives are intrigued by Sebastian's picture of his girlfriend as a cold, calculating monster, they're also focused on getting to the reasons behind this senseless murder. And they will soon get more than they bargained for.
I can't say I have any extra remorse. I regret the name.
You regret it, but you don't really have any remorse over it. But you know that you coming and being honest about it, though, is a big step.
I don't really care much for life, but I know it shouldn't be taken in vain.
With this half-hearted step towards morality on Sebastian's part, the detectives try to figure out how much truth there is to this supposed alternate personality living in his mind.
He talks to me. I hear him now.
What's he telling you right now?
He's just laughing at me. Why? Because he thinks it's funny. He thinks it's pathetic that I'm here even.
Just as he blames Drake for whatever involvement he might have had in the murder of Caitlin Root, Sebastian also blames him.
Look, I'm not laughing at anybody that have problems like this. I'm laughing because the editor put another one of this nigga right next to him. I thought that nigga had a hat on. I promise you I'm not laughing, bro.
For steering Amanda down a dark path in the preceding months. Finally, officers are getting a hint at a motive, strange as it is.
She might be able to control.
I love
Able to
there we go.
be more beyond this world. The other consciousness I have is I know he influenced her.
So what exactly did Drake tell her?
That there are certain demons that would take deals that would do things for her in place of a soul or some sort of like that. All she had to do is take the life, give the soul.
Another deal that he made was he believes in reincarnation, and he told me that he was born in the 1200s, and that when he was born, that like a demon came and found him because he told me he was poor and all of his family and stuff died of a plague or something. The demon came and told him that if he gives him souls, that he would like make him reincarnate, and each time he died, he would come back.
Earlier, Amanda mentions about deals they made that she would talk about later.
I'll explain what he's talking about later, but he said that they wanted her for a sacrifice.
These they are demons.
He doesn't worship demons, but he says that he talks to them all the time, and that they come into the world and they give you different things, like kind of trade things. Like one thing he has that he told me he has is that each demon has a different section in hell or something like that. It's a torture section, is what he said. And the demon that he traded with was called Almadir or something like that. And he traded a soul for taking his spot in hell. So whenever Sebastian died or whatever, he wouldn't have to go through like judgment or whatever. He would just be taken to hell and given, he wouldn't be punished. He would just be given that place, and then he would torture people for eternity.
Amanda says that these outrageous notions not only influenced Sebastian to take Caitlin's life, but even their actions afterwards.
You told me that you said you were born in the 1200s and you'd been reincarnated several times, and that you'd been killed a couple times. You had the Black Plague, and that you'd made several deals with this demon to keep going.
It's pretty out there.
Well, it's all kind of out there.
Yeah, but this is new information to me.
With both suspects pointing the finger at the other, the detectives begin to believe that Amanda knows more about these satanic influences than she's let on.
You remember also when we asked you about sacrificing Siler, and you said wouldn't do that because baby souls have no value.
That's what you said, bitch.
I mean, that doesn't sound like somebody that
don't know what's going on.
Has no idea. I mean, you clearly know the baby's soul in this demonic world that we're talking about have no value. You know, you know this.
It isn't just that one remark that has the detectives doubting Amanda's innocence when it comes to these
Baby
matters.
souls are worthless.
After her initial interrogation, as she was waiting to be transported to juvenile detention, she had much to say about the realm of the unholy, and none of it sounded like secondhand information.
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I've been to hell before, so once you cross over that border, you can see everything from a spiritual point of view.
Yeah.
Hell's way more complex than what everyone says. Like, there's no fire, for one. There's no fire. It's not hot. It's normal. And there's like, it's kind of like an office building. There's different sections, and each demon has like a secretary who goes out and collects like debts and souls from people. I can manipulate like fire. Like I can make, like I made a lighter explode one time and stuff. Like I can manipulate it. I can make it go in different spots and stuff like that.
I hear voices crying. I see.
Reach out to a demon and you accept them. Like if you do a possession and you accept them into your body, you can't ever get rid of them again. They have a connection and a tie to where they want, like where they want you. They will find you and they will put thoughts in your head to make you go somewhere and do something and make it think that it's your idea.
Professor X
like,
type tone, right?
Say, like there are some people like they make people kill people. Like you'll just see images of yourself stabbing someone or something. Like it's a memory, but you didn't do it. Like I was born in the 1200s. That's my actual birth time. I don't remember the day. One of my things was I get my memories from each life. I take the secretary spot, and in exchange they give me my memories. What you can do is you can sacrifice souls to people. Is like when someone dies or whatever, you give their soul to them. They are getting stuff no matter what, so they don't care what happens to you. Like if you get arrested for like killing and murdering, they're not going to stop that. You're going to spend your time in jail.
Guess that makes sense.
Which is bullcrap, because they should help you and stuff. But they don't.
All told, Amanda discussed her adventures in demonology for nearly 25 uninterrupted minutes before finally bringing it to a close with these apt thoughts.
You don't hear about that much unless you actually.
Well, it's because most of the time when you talk about it, everyone's like, you're seeing stuff. Then call you crazy and you get locked up. But that's probably what's going to happen to me.
Back with Sebastian, he discloses a chilling detail that adds a twisted new dimension to Amanda's behavior at the scene of the murder.
Did she do anything there at the sacrifice of Caitlin? Did she pray or speak to her demons?
She chanted something. Something Drake wrote down.
Do you remember what it was? I don't. That really interests me.
It's nothing of actual significance, but I can't recall it.
And then he handed me a paper.
Yeah,
It had
biz, nigga, you know exactly what was
it had
said,
a
bro.
bunch of words on it. It wasn't normal language. I don't know what it said. It said like the first word started with an L and was like a monos or something like that. I don't know. He told me that. That's what we had to say.
Amanda claims that Sebastian burned the paper when they got home that evening, but police don't have to look hard to find evidence of their satanic beliefs. During a search of their house, they come across a journal filled with writings about the couple's interest in demons. One page is dedicated to a guide on inviting possession. Another advises
we cool.
offering souls and sacrifices to demons. Another chronicles what happened during demonic possession. One page has what appears to be disturbing proverbs, such as, bleed for those who only love the taste of your blood. These writings are bizarre, but they don't necessarily tie Amanda to direct involvement in Caitlin's murder. However, she soon coughs up a confession.
Where the fuck my cut? Where the fuck my reefs? I've been fighting my demons, I've been fighting my...
So, I mean, I should be put in jail for some time, but I do have a baby that's 2 months old, and that's a vital part of his life because he's gonna be crawling soon. He's gonna have his first.
Yeah, you should have thought about that, bud, before you murdered or sacrificed somebody, bro. Whatever, man.
Halloween without me there already.
Where the fuck my blunt? Where the fuck my cut? Where the fuck my reef?
Swinging on kids. I got for him and stuff, and I'm never gonna get to see him in those, and I'm not gonna get to dress him and stuff like that.
Seem like you probably.
I mean, there's house arrest.
However, before the interview concludes, she drops one last bombshell and makes one last attempt to shift the blame.
With me saying this, I'm going to jail for the rest of my life. Sebastian said that towards the end of the year, he has to have two sacrifices, or else he gets dragged down to hell and he gets nothing. So he said that he needed to find somebody. So I messaged people that I knew hated themselves and hated their lives and kept telling me and posted on Facebook and stuff that they were miserable and that they didn't want to be here anymore because it made me feel a little bit better. I told him that I found someone that he could use.
That he could sacrifice.
That he didn't have to go out and just find somebody and kill somebody. I thought he was me. And I didn't think he was telling me the truth until he actually stabbed her.
While Amanda clings desperately to the last threads of logic that would mitigate her involvement, the detectives ask her one last question. What would you say to Caitlin's family?
That she didn't deserve anything, and that honestly, she was one of the best people that I've ever met. Talked to me like she trusted me with everything. And
She did, with her life. You said that Siler is growing up. He's going to be crawling. You won't get to see that. You won't get to hold him. You won't get to change his clothes, see the clothes he's growing out of. I would leave you with this. Caitlin will never have a baby. Her parents will never see her get any older. Her friends will never see her grandparents. Chances are you'll probably come out of prison a young woman yet and get to remake the rest of your life for the better, I hope. But Caitlin will never have that opportunity.
Amanda and Sebastian are charged separately for second-degree murder, charges they both ultimately plead guilty to. According to her cellmates at the Juvenile Detention Center, Amanda freely advertised herself as the Krug Park killer in the months following her arrest, reportedly telling one girl, "I'll do to you." In addition to these posts, she also hatched a plan to get Sebastian a lighter sentence. According to a later interview, Amanda wrote a letter to her boyfriend taking responsibility for the murder and its planning. The idea was that Sebastian would show the letter to his lawyer, but guards confiscated it, and the plan was foiled. The other Amanda that police had brought in for questioning earlier was not involved in Caitlin's murder in any way. In May of 2017, approximately 7 months after the senseless killing of Caitlin Root, Amanda Bennett and Sebastian Dowell were both sentenced to life in prison. Upon hearing this, Caitlin's mother Jamie had only 3 words. It's not enough.
Hold on. It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that are really stacked, but it's not enough.
The thing, how I perceive life is this, bro. Motherfuckers gonna be evil, bro. Regardless. It's not, maybe it could be demons in some cases, but a lot of the times it's humans, bro. Humans are the true demons of the world. Not saying that, you ain't hearing voices in your head. Not saying none of that. Because I know that actually happens. Sometimes you deceive yourself to that far of an extent because you can't accept the fact that who you are. It's sad. It's miserable. And it's really, really fucked up more than anything.